Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, to Stronger Together. You are with us hopefully for an hour, but if you have to sign off, not a problem. My name is Lauren Updyke, and I'm actually going to quickly pass the Husky baton on to Pranika Laing, who's actually leading this group, and she'll have the opportunity to introduce herself and then introduce our speakers, and then we'll go right into our presentation of all the various wellness and well-being programs and supports that are for all UW medicine and students. And then we'll go into a fun question and answer to allow each panelist to answer some questions that talk about how we're all interconnected and things and trends that they're seeing in their areas. And then we'll open the floor to question and answers for you. But Pranika, I'm going to go ahead and remove everyone else and add your spotlight. And thank you so much for leading this session with us.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everyone, for being here on your lunch hour. As Lauren mentioned, Pranika Laing, I am the Interim Assistant Vice President of UW Medicine Human Resources. And today's program brings together colleagues from all across the university and UW Medicine, because well-being is not something we do alone. It is something we build and sustain together as part of this large, amazing community. At the University of Washington, we believe well-being is essential. When we support our physical health, our mental health, resilience, and sense of belonging, we're not just taking care of ourselves, we're creating stronger teams, healthier communities, and a workplace culture where everyone can thrive. When I first learned about this session, I was trying to think of something different, right? I'm like, how long have I been here, and where did the sense of community start for me at the university? And I remembered a FIG program. I had to look up, does it still exist? So in 1998, when I was an incoming freshman, I learned about a 2-credit class of community, and I signed up for that class. It is amazing. At that point, I think it's a great class. I made friends. That's what it meant to me in 1998. But now when I reflect back, we were, it was big university. There were familiar faces in those classes. So the freshman interest group, which now actually it has gone from freshman interest group to first year student group. And you just see the familiar faces in different classes. There's 5 of us who we're still really good friends. And, we navigated our freshman year, right? Like I was from Seattle, so it was fine, but there were my friends who are from different, Eastern Washington, some from Oregon, just different parts of the state and the country where the familiarity helped us connect. We went through our freshman ups and downs, seeing each other, the large 400 classes in Kane Hall. And that was my first time of being part of a intentional community that was set by the university. And I am so proud of that, and just, so glad that the university has been building community and connections for so long. And during my, since being a student and my 27-year journey at the university, I've been grateful to be part of just all types of community. And so when, Lauren and I were talking about that, I'm so thankful for this opportunity and honored to be here to open this up and share the goals for this session and welcome our amazing speakers today. So the goals are to help you discover the full scope of UW's wellness ecosystem, one of the most comprehensive in higher education, and it is intentional and continues to get better and better. The second is to show you how to access the right resources when you need them most. The third goal is to inspire you with UW's commitment of a culture of care that lifts up employees, students, and faculty alike. Life's tough, right? So how can we build each other up and how can we support each other in this journey? To bring this, the speakers today, the panel of leaders are Lauren Updyke, who's amazing, employee experience, the whole UW WorkLife Social Impact Awards and Recognition. Jeff Palmer, also amazing. Welcome, Jeff. UW Recreation. And Anne Browning. Anne, you've helped us get through COVID and everything else, part of UW Medicine. Thank you. Jennifer Laxague, LiveWell. Thanks, Jennifer, for everything that you do. Marie Cockerham from UW Medical Center, Care for You, all your amazing lunch support sessions and many, many things that you do. Incredible, thank you. And Megan Kennedy, who does the really important and amazing work at the UW Resilience Lab. Welcome. Together, these panel of experts will share how wellness programs ranging from fitness and recreation to mental health and resilience to recognition and belonging work independently and in unison to support you at every stage of your journey at UW. Thank you so much to each and every one of you, to the panelists, as well as to everyone else who has joined this session and investing this hour in yourself and our community. So Lauren, I'll pass this back to you.
Great, thank you. So we're going to start with each panelist is going to present a few slides, and I'm just going to share my screen. Stronger Together, a UW community approach to well-being. So I'm Lauren Updyke. I'm the Executive Director for Employee Experience. And some of you may ask, what is employee experience at UW and UW Medicine? Well, I lead 4 programs. The first one is the Whole You. So give me a high five if you've participated in Whole You. Well, all of you are, because you're on a Whole You event right now. Yay, awesome. So the Whole You is UW's holistic wellness and community engagement program. We service all 52,000 employees. We cover all hospitals, all campuses, and all remote staff. UW WorkLife, that's balancing our life's demands. So we support caregiving, housing, and personal wellness. We also work with our Employee Washington Assistance Program, which I'll get into next. Our UW Combun Friend Drive, amazing. We're kicking off in a couple weeks. That is your workplace giving program. So we have things where you can donate $5 a month and pass it on to an employee, encourage them to donate $5 a month, $20 a month, whatever you can donate. But last year we raised over $2 million to nearly 5,000 nonprofits. Our featured charity this year is Westside Baby, which is a local Seattle organization, and we're really, really excited to help support them. And then the 4th program that I lead is all of our awards and recognition. So if you've been nominated for a Distinguished Staff Award, that's coming up too. So that's when we have a big celebration in February from people all across UW come together and our leaders celebrate them. We usually get around 300 nominations. So if there's someone that you've worked with that you think is absolutely fantastic or has significantly impacted maybe your work, your colleagues' work, or patients, definitely look for an email in the next week or so about nominating a team or an individual. Other awards is raise your hand if you have been around 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, 20 years. Yes. So we now manage the service awards, which we're about to launch, kind of a new enhanced service awards gift program. But we also have updated our website on the HR website. Sebastian in the chat is going to put our employee experience website up there so you can see it. But if you're a manager and you're like, gosh, how can I recognize my staff? You know, we've got people at Foster School of Business that study the importance of gratitude, appreciation, recognition, and employee experience has created templates. We've worked with UW Medicine Recreation. They have a phenomenal website that you can download templates and just thank your staff or thanks team members. So recognition is something that we're really trying to enhance and bring to the UW community. So back to the whole U. The whole U, we're for UW by UW. Again, give me an emoji if you were part of the Guinness World Record kettlebell event back in 2013. All right, Pranika was. I know a lot of you were. So yeah, we launched the Whole You back in 2013, and the idea was wellness is beyond, you know, fitness, nutrition, stress management. It's about community. It's about finding joy at work, connecting with others across campus or maybe in other hospitals, and really finding that joy and fostering connection. And when we launched, the ultimate goal was to work and create a platform for all of you amazing UW experts in your fields and allowing or creating this platform so that you could then present to the community, whether it was your research around you know, overall health and well-being, whether it was your research about preventing injuries, whether you studied the link between caffeine and skin cancer, right? Like UW is full of incredible researchers. And so we wanted to create that platform and create this community and have these ongoing seminars. So that's just like one little piece of the whole U. But we do, last year, we hit a record of 949 events. That ranges anywhere from a mindfulness class to a self-paced guide to training for a marathon, to doing the daily moving breaks, to going to an expert-led seminar or workshop, and then some of our main big signature challenges and programs. We also, just so you all know, if we do understand everyone's workload, especially now and that time to carve out time to really learn about various ways to practice self-care, build resilience, connect with others, we have our YouTube channel with over 300 recordings. So we record, speaking of recording, are we recording this?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Thank you, Sebastian. On our YouTube channel, we have over 300 recordings. We tend to record anywhere from 80 to 85% of our seminars. So if you're someone that you have a back-to-back schedule, or if you're a team that maybe you do have like a monthly hour-long meeting, maybe replace that meeting with one of the Whole You seminars and learn something together or participate in something together. So the Whole You kind of has this like no excuse to participate, whether it's on your own, whether it's with your colleagues, you know, down at Husky Stadium when we bring that back, because we are going to bring that back, or whether it's, you know, attending an event from a faculty. We've got coming up in October, we have our benefits fairs, we have our flu shots coming up. We have John Lynch is going to be here doing a presentation on the importance of immunization. We have ergonomics coming, talking about, you know, as I'm slouching doing this presentation, everybody shoulders back. They're going to be coming and doing a seminar on whether you work at home or in your office, just little tips on how to take care of your body while you're back-to-back Zooms. And then UW WorkLife. So UW WorkLife is run by Jessica Cole, and there's a lot of facets of WorkLife, but it's really about supporting the whole person. So you're more than an employee right here at UW. You're a whole person with many facets that can contribute to your overall well-being. So number one, caregiving. We have a ton of child care and caregiving resources on our WorkLife website. We provide adult and elder care, caregiving consultation and supports. So if you're like me, you're in that sandwich generation of you have elderly parents, but you're also caregiving for your children. There's a lot of supports on our site around elder care. We also do seminars on elder care. We also manage 6 on-site childcare centers and then affiliate centers and backup care programs. WorkLife also leads our housing needs, so housing solutions for eligible employees. We partner with Washington's Employee Assistance Program for personal, family, emotional, or life challenges that you may be facing. So if you are needing counseling, you can go through our EAP program for free, 3 free sessions per topic per family member in your household. We also provide manager and team support. So if you're looking for guidance and resources around building successful team environments, we have resources on our websites. Raise your hand if like your children or your pets are like your children or part of the family. We offer some resources for pet support. Yes, definitely. And then we have a ton of tool guides and toolkits and guidance on childcare, parental leaves, and just practical resources. Next, I want to pass the Husky baton over to Megan Kennedy, who is director of the Resilience Lab. Megan?
Thank you, Lauren. So much respect and appreciation for you and your team and everything that you're doing. I wanted to focus my section just on really honing in on a program that the Resilience Lab has been offering now for many, many years. And I first want to acknowledge another center on campus who we deeply partner with, which is the Center for Child and Family Wellbeing, under the direction of Dr. Lily Langua. I know that some of the CCFW team is on the call today, so hi to my friends and colleagues over there. CCFW, they created a program around 2017 called Be Real, which is an incredible program that they authored that brings cognitive behavioral skills and mindsets and mindfulness together to help communities cope with challenging situations and manage emotions and be more interpersonally effective, able to direct compassion inward and outward, and have been very carefully and diligently researching the program since that time. The Resilience Lab has the privilege of being able to partner and bring this program to our campus community, which includes Bothell and Tacoma and Seattle and UW-Medicine writ large. So over many years, we've been facilitating Be Real in different parts of the university. Here, what I'm showing you is just some of what the Be Real program has to offer. So a combination of different contemplative practices, discussion, stress coping strategies, different yoga sequences, and so on and so forth. The program is originally authored to be 6 weeks, 90 minutes in length, but through our research, we found that we're able to adapt the time and have it be over the course of a 10-week quarter for shorter sessions and with the same level of effectiveness. And we've seen Be Real to really significantly improve well-being among students who participate in our program, as well as staff and faculty. So coming up in this academic year, we have the opportunity to provide Be Real as a resource for students. One of the ways that students can access this program is to register for General Studies 297, either the X or Y section. And these sessions will be led by Sasha, who's a member of the Resilience Lab, and Danny Arguetti, who's the director of the Campus Sustainability Fund and the former mindfulness manager for UW Recreation. I highly recommend this program to students. I've had the honor of being able to teach the course in years past, and I absolutely love teaching the course, and students are really find a lot of satisfaction in meeting and participating in it. And then secondly, We will offer Be Real to staff and instructors across campuses over the year as well. So I wanted to bring to your attention that we have a new tri-campus group that you could sign up for. It's free. It'll start in the fall quarter on Mondays, and this will be facilitated by Sasha and Tanisha Valdez. You can email Sasha for more information. Concurrently, I'll be leading a Be Real session for colleagues in University Advancement in UMAC. So if you're part of that faction of the university, you could reach out to me and we can make sure that you get connected to the group that I'll be facilitating for that internal organization specifically. And then thirdly, if you're from a school or a college or a department across anywhere in the university and you think that Be Real would be a good program for your organization as a whole to help develop resilient skills and mindsets organizationally, the Resilience Lab really loves to bring this program and embed it into a department like we're doing with University Advancement and UMAC as a way to really build that organizational resilience across the university. So please reach out. Don't hesitate to reach out to me directly with more questions. And in the spirit of Lauren, if you've participated in Be Real and want to contribute any of your reflections on chat or give it a thumbs up, love to see you're interacting with the slide. Thanks.
All right, next, Anne Browning.
Hey everyone. So I get to support well-being for UW Medicine. And one of the kind of programs I wanted to highlight, it's really about people taking care of each other, which is really pretty foundational for what we do. So UW Medicine, we have a peer-to-peer program, and it's really about trying to shift the culture within medicine to be one in which we kind of pause and take care of each other in moments that can be kind of challenging. The program, we trained an initial cohort of 100 folks from across our system 6 years ago, and we launched January 13th of 2020, which was kind of amazing timing, and that we got this up and running right as the pandemic was hitting, and it has grown to be a tremendous resource for folks across UW Medicine, especially in kind of our clinical care settings. So now we have kind of over 250 plus, I would say, kind of trained and active peer supporters, and we've had over 2,000 referrals come in during those first 6 years. And then what we really do is we kind of create a one-on-one support opportunity for folks who have gone through a challenging moment, either with patient care or who are going through kind of a broader challenge, anything from kind of moral injury to having experienced kind of a tough interaction with maybe patients or families. And it's really kind of normalized the help-seeking behavior we really want to have kind of across our campus. Well, this is kind of a UW Medicine resource. What I really wanted to highlight is the most important part of what we do is really the informal supports that are really part of that culture change. So of our referrals that come in, it is just a tiny drop in the bucket compared to how many folks really are just doing that kind of stop in the hallway, catch you in the parking garage, just see you walking across campus, and those kind of informal check-ins that we have with each other really is creating a culture of support, and that is something we hope permeates across the University of Washington, is that kind of support overall. As we're looking at thinking about our system broadly and what we do to try and support well-being, we have been across UW Medicine with our kind of overall council that kind of is looking at our work. We've been putting together strategic priorities and a strategic plan. Megan Kennedy on this call has helped a little bit with that process, so huge thanks to you. And overall, we've kind of come up with 6 big themes that really impact everyone's work. And it's challenging if we think about UW Medicine or the university at large. We do really different work in different corners of where we are. And so coming up with kind of 6 anchor points of how we can think about improving well-being within our workplaces, no matter where you work. So our goal in this, and it is a work in progress, is to have folks be able to kind of anchor the changes they want to see and think about how things are now and how we ultimately want them to be, so that we can be really thoughtful about the tactics to kind of bridge those gaps over time. So trying to take a pretty strategic approach to improving well-being within UW Medicine. And certainly we see this as something that can be thought of kind of at a university level as well.
Great, thank you, Anne. Next is Marie Cockerham from Care for You.
Hi, thanks so much, Lauren and everybody else. It's so fun to see so many familiar faces and all of the partners that I get to work a lot with. So Care for You is University of Washington Medical Center's Wellbeing and Support Program. It was formalized in 2019, although the Care for the Caregiver Committee had been going on for far long before that. But in 2019, we started to really sort of structure this well-being program for UW-MC that we think of a little bit as an umbrella. So what was happening a lot in our hospitals and clinics is the way that people were getting connected to well-being or utilizing it, et cetera, was really based on, like, if you knew somebody that knew something, and there wasn't a really nice, equitable way, easy way for one person, no matter where they work, if they work in the OR, if they work in environmental services, whatever their role, faculty, staff, learner, trainee at UW-MC, what's one way we can make it really easy to get what you need in whatever that means for you and what you're navigating both at work and at home. So we've come up with these different ways. We have a wonderful website that focuses on all these different things, where we're helping people get connected to individual support, working with them on creating an individual well-being care plan, whether that's recovering from something that's been really hard or just staying maintained and healthy. Same for teams and groups. So we do a lot of consultative work. A lot of the organizational work is built on those individual and team group supports, where we're just trying to think more systematically about, okay, here are the things that we know that work really well for individuals or teams, but how easy is it to do these? And are there things, resources, structures that we can put in place for everybody so it makes it that much easier to do that thing? When I was very first getting into well-being, my background's as a nurse, mostly in critical care. One of my favorite anchor points as I was learning was a statement that goes like this: well-being isn't extra, it's infrastructure. And so that is really how I try to think about how we're learning and growing together and building a program and resources that really meet people where they are. And that also comes with a lot of education, resources, advocacy, which is a big core part of our program with Care for You. And just a little shout out that we earned the platinum level distinction, which is the highest distinction through Mental Health America this year on excellence in workplace mental health. So big kudos. That looks at a lot of different things, including our benefits, how a lot of like stories, and it's a very intensive process, but super proud that that is something that we were honored with in the way that we're collaborating and helping to integrate well-being into everything we do.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marie. Jeff with UW Recreation.
Thank you, Lauren. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. It's nice to meet all of you. I was actually browsing through the participant list here, and it reminded me, I recognize a lot of these faces. Some of you might recognize me from back in 2020. Sorry to bring that up. Teaching Zoom fitness classes in my apartment at the time. I still actually get emails from people about that, or they see you and they're like, didn't you do classes in your apartment back in 2020? So that brings up all of those memories. I oversee the fitness and wellness programming at UW Recreation. And so what I wanted to do today is, UW Recreation is massive in scope. We have a tremendous number of people that come in and out of this facility. We're very lucky to have a lot of touch points with so many people in this chat right now, which is wonderful. So to talk about some of these offerings, I could talk forever about one of these things. So I wanted you, especially if you're new to the university, you're just like, I don't know what's available. I don't even know where to start at UW Recreation. I wanted to provide some broad level looks at some of our offerings. So in a traditional recreation center gym sense, we have those main staples. So we have fitness and yoga classes, which are wonderful. We've got a ton of variety in those. Like no matter what your fitness thing is, we have that offering. We're always trying to innovate. Like we brought the pool back into our fitness classes. We're bringing some self-defense classes in. We have a registered dietitian on staff. Some more unique offerings that we have. This one, whenever I tell people, they're like, no way. We have a massage program, so we have licensed massage therapists on staff. So if you're here, you get a workout in, you're super stressed, book a massage session. We try to keep things as affordable as possible. Some other offerings that I think are unique to Rec and that are awesome is, we live in a beautiful location. We have an incredible waterfront where you can rent boats, stand-up paddle boards, kayaks. You can rent out our great room rental space. You can have events in there, which I several people I'm sure already have done that for meetings. We have recently renovated our sauna. We really have a lot. We're really a premier fitness center. And I want to give a shout out to some more recent things that we've added, which would be nap pods and then massage chairs that we've added. So we've got it all. We're trying to hit all aspects of wellness here. So you see all these things, you're like, wow, that's a lot. I don't even know how to get started, where to get started. What I would tell you, and that's for every faculty staff member that is in this chat, you are eligible for a free week trial at the IMA. It's as easy as that. I'm sure our contact will be shared. Contact us, you get a free week, come down. So during that time when you're here, the next question is, all right, well, what am I doing now? If you could actually go back, that would be great. Sorry. So one thing I would set up is a facility tour is something that you will find very helpful. It's a very big facility. I swear there's times that I get lost in here. And I've been here for 5 years. So a facility tour will really give you that confidence that you need to find where you want to go and explore all of our different spaces and offerings. And you can contact that email to set that up. Our website and social media has all the happenings and goings on. So follow us on social media if you have not. The next one, if you want to try out our group fitness week classes, it's called Preview Week. We only have 2 days left of that. So if you have time today or tomorrow to come down, it's a free week of our group fitness classes. We do this the first week of the quarter, and then we also finish with a finals week schedule, and that's free. You can come down and take any of our classes. So I would strongly suggest you do that. And when you're here, you're going to just try to find your thing, whether that's traditional weightlifting, whether that is one of our more unique offerings. And then lastly, I wanted to touch on just kind of the impact that we do have on campus. So some of these important aspects on here, this is from a survey that we put out last year to all of our members, which was tremendously helpful for us to get eyes and a pulse on all of our members. So some of the highlights on here, just to give you a sense of the scope, is we had 915,000 entrances into the facility, which is amazing, fantastic. That gives you a sense of like how many people we're helping between faculty, staff, students across the campus. So the main thing I would say to you is come down and check out the facility. Like there really is something for everyone here. And I and other staff members here are more than happy to help you find that thing.
Thank you, Jeff. Do you also want to mention the recently added adaptive equipment and?
Certainly. I can totally do that. I can talk forever. So this is great.
Great.
You're going to have to stop me. Yeah, so we have an adaptive equipment area, which is full of fantastic new adaptive equipment for people that need that type of equipment and accessibility. It is all located and centralized in one area, so it's very easy to find. And we've been partnering with multiple groups on campus to get the word out about that type of equipment. So we're very happy, very lucky to have that, and happy to see people use it.
Wonderful. Thanks, Jeff. And then our last panelist, Jennifer with LiveWell.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Laxague, and I'm the Assistant Director of LiveWell, Center for Health Promotion and Prevention on the UW Seattle campus. A lot of our services are very student-facing, so they are great to know about as far as supporting students that you might be interacting with. And then we do have one service I'll talk about that is also applicable to faculty and staff. So our task for the university campus and our Husky community is to provide health promotion and to also do the vital health education of helping teach our students accurate, evidence-informed information about health and well-being topics, also to help them build the skills to be able to advocate for themselves, to feel empowered in navigating their own health and well-being, especially in a world where there's a lot of misinformation, especially health misinformation right now, but also just to set a strong foundation for adulthood. And so we do this through peer health education workshops, educating on high-risk behaviors with college students, such as substance use, sex, bystander intervention. We know from evidence and research that it's more effective to do that through peer health educators. Can you go back a slide? Yes, cool. So we have a variety of peer health education workshops. Faculty and staff often ask for our fees to come in and do presentations, sometimes in classrooms, whether it's on sleep or mental health or social isolation and loneliness. Like, we have a lot of different topics our fees are trained to be able to educate their peers on, and that's a great resource to know about. We also do peer groups. One of the biggest ones we do is an evidence-based peer group called the Body Project that aims to prevent eating disordered behaviors and also increase body satisfaction. So even if someone, again, it's a psychoeducational group run by peers, it's meant to target anyone who has any amount of body dissatisfaction, which we know is like 85% of adults in our country. And so it's meant to help that within a peer format, as well as there's some really solid research about it preventing eating disorder behaviors. We have peer wellness coaching, which is a one-on-one service that students can come and meet with a trained peer on any type of health and well-being topic. They can usually get in within 3 days, and we have a variety of coaches that they can work with. And this is great. We're seeing students utilize peer wellness coaching a lot for some kind of the basic psychoeducational, psychological skill pieces of young adulthood, right? How do I regulate emotions? How do I deal with conflict? How do I use assertive communication? How do I work through these differences that I'm experiencing in the people around me? Or just stress management, time management, learning how to, learning some emotional regulation skills for coping with difficult emotions, things like that. Peer wellness coaching is a great resource. And then we do events throughout the year, Take Back the Night. We do a lot of different partnerships with student leaders across campus and different entities to target, again, that health education piece. And then we have posters, booklets, all different types of physical print materials that we can provide for you all or for students. All right, and then the next slide. These services, everything in our office is free. It's funded by state funding and also student activities fees. But especially for students, it's good to know that everything in our office is free for them. And these services are provided by professional staff. So we have professional staff who are experts in working with survivors and impacted parties of sexual assault, relationship violence, stalking, and harassment. And they are a legally protected source of confidentiality. So when you talk to a confidential advocate, it is not sharing information with the university or with any type of entity. It is really just with that advocate. And the whole reason we have confidential advocates is to make sure that survivors have a place where they can go to get emotional support, to find out what their options are, to learn what their rights are, if they want to report, what those reporting processes would look like, and be fully informed before they make that decision. And so confidential advocacy is the first best step when someone has been impacted by any of these types of interpersonal violence. This is the one thing in our office where we serve all faculty and staff, tri-campus actually, including UW Medicine employees, and then we also serve UW Seattle students. So this is the one service that actually does apply to everyone on this call as far as like using it yourself, but also a referral point for students in knowing that if they've been impacted by one of these things, this is the first best step because it is truly confidential. Confidential advocates have a legal confidentiality similar to like therapists, lawyers, ombuds, where again, like that information is not shared outside the advocate to really allow survivors to be fully informed and get supports they need and want within that confidential space. We also have a student needs navigator that helps students navigate different on-campus and off-campus resources that might be of benefit to them when they're struggling with basic needs. We do alcohol and other drug consultations that are private if students are interested in learning about harm reduction, if they are, realizing that maybe they have been using a lot of marijuana recently and it's starting to impact their test-taking abilities or their sleep, and they want a private space, a private non-judgmental space. They can see our AOD coordinator, who again is a professional staff member, and can help teach harm reduction skills and get them connected to any resources they might want or need. And then our suicide intervention program is meant to be, it's an early intervention program. So when we get referrals like from Safe Campus, from faculty and staff, that maybe they're concerned about a student who might be struggling with suicidality. And we do an outreach, we meet with them, we assess them, we see what they need for stability, safety, support. And we either get them connected to those resources, or if they do meet a certain threshold for suicidality, we enroll them in the SIP program, which gets them fast-tracked through the University Counseling Center, and just allows us to make sure that no one is slipping through the cracks and that we're getting our students who are at risk with suicidality connected to what they might need. So all our services are on Zoom and in person, but thank you.
So next, hopefully we are going to go through just a couple panel questions. We're going to go ahead and skip mine for the sake of time. I really appreciate the time of our panelists. So Pranika is going to lead these questions, and then if we have time at the end, think about any of your questions you may have for one of the panelists and the programs that they run and lead, and we'll monitor the chat. All right.
Jeff, so question for you. UW Recreation engages thousands of Huskies every year. What role does physical activity play in creating a sense of community and belonging?
Yes, I love that question. It plays a massive role in that. When I hear this, I think of my experience in recreation, and the importance of physical activity in that. Before I went to college and got involved in a recreation center, I was unhealthy. I felt aimless. I felt like my purpose wasn't there. And then when I found recreation, I discovered, wait, I really like exercising. I like lifting weights. Oh, wait, there's a lot of other people that like doing this too. I joined a club that I was really involved with, and I found forged some amazing relationships, people I still talk to this day. Eventually my career moved into that. So in a personal sense, that one is like very sensitive to me. It's just that like shaped my entire life was physical activity and recreation led me to where I am. And then I'll cite that survey that I discussed earlier that our department put out. And several of the topics included things like a sense of belonging and a sense of community in the entire university. So one of those sections was about university experience for our rec users. And so 87% of our users found that their university experience was improved. That is awesome. That's fantastic to hear that essentially their physical activity in recreation was a massive part of their time here. We also found that 70% of our users found that it improved their sense of belonging at the university. This one certainly hit home for me. I think a lot about our commuter students. I think a lot about faculty staff that are in this chat now, where you just come into work, kind of get in the zone, and you just leave. Sometimes you don't have that sense of community. And the physical activity that you're getting at the rec center amongst all of our different offerings plays a huge part in your satisfaction and work and your health. So I think those things are very, very closely tied together, and it's great to work in a department that promotes the importance of physical activity while creating and fostering those senses of belonging and community.
Great, thank you. Ian, next question for you. From the UW Medicine perspective, what trends are you seeing in well-being needs, and how is the medical system responding?
Sure, thanks, Pranika. I think the first piece is really pausing and like really acknowledging how hard kind of moving through kind of our medical system is right now, and kind of across UW Medicine, mostly based on a lot of uncertainty. And if we acknowledge kind of the social and political context in which we're working, I think that's a lot of where we see frustration and challenges coming up across our kind of UW Medicine workforce. That manifests like in terms of challenges around uncertainty for NIH funding, around visa access for our students and our staff and our faculty, down to Medicaid funding. So with all these things up in the air, one of the things that I think we're really doing is trying to like acknowledge the uncertainty in which we're operating, and really working to take action and focus on the things we know with some certainty. We've seen a lot of folks really kind of spinning their wheels around kind of how much is coming out, but not quite landing, and still trying to react to things that we don't know about yet for certain. So it has been an incredibly challenging time within UW Medicine. I would say, one of the things that we really anchor on is trying to take care of each other in UW Medicine. And it's a great space in which we do a lot to take care of the health of the public, but that really starts by taking care of each other. And we just had a breakfast at Harborview this morning celebrating well-being grant recipients. And it was amazing to hear about kind of the small grants that we were able to put together, focused on well-being and what people do locally to kind of create community and support morale. So I'm inspired often just by how folks take care of each other within this space as the biggest piece we do to support our well-being.
Thank you, Anne. Jennifer will ask you a question about LiveWell. So LiveWell focuses on student well-being. What can faculty and staff learn from your approach, and how can we better support students together?
Great question. I've been thinking about this a lot because I have a very long answer that I'm going to try to be very concise with. Because I think there's a lot of things we can do. And I think one of the things that I think about a lot is like, what is our, what can we model as staff and faculty for our students and our community as a whole, right? Modeling is a really powerful way we learn as humans because we're very social creatures. And so I think about the power that we have. And when I say power, I think of responsibility. People define power differently, but I define it as responsibility. And so I think about the power we have as staff and faculty and the responsibility to model things that we know are in pursuit of kind of what the work we do stands for. And so thinking about, right, like medicine and education and like that core value of public service and what that means in challenging times. So, a lot of what we go back to and what I teach our student employees as they go out is how do we model that responsibility both for ourselves and for the communities we're a part of, right? Like when things are very difficult and we're going through adversity, like how do we model emotional regulation? And how do we model being a part of the solution? Like, how do we keep going, right? Which can get into these large philosophical conversations about values and character strengths and philosophy and existentialism and all the things, spirituality, which we have all the time in our office, and it's super fun. But I think about emotional regulation, especially right now. We know that a lot of students are coming in from adolescence believing that they don't have control over their emotions. And that's a really problematic belief if you don't believe you can control your emotions. And it's something we do a lot of work around, is trying to build that psychoeducation and correct misperceptions and misinformation, and also build skills. Because if you can't emotionally regulate yourself, it's going to be really hard to interact with the external world. And so I think modeling that and helping students realize that there are ways, even if they don't feel like that's true, that to set them up for adulthood and being a change agent in the world and whatever they choose to do, like it starts with being responsible for ourselves and like regulating our emotions so that then we can engage better in critical thinking and problem solving and collaborative, work and shifting our community and making change. So I'll stop there.
Thank you, Jennifer. Marie, so Care for You provides critical support for UW Medical Center employees. What are some of the most impactful resources you've seen making a difference?
Thanks so much. I think that it was hard to pick just thinking about this question, but I think the things that make the biggest difference are, especially during crisis points, being able to really support people, whether you're a clinician that just made their first medication error, or just had your first patient death, or you're maybe one of many experiences of those, but ways that we're able to support people in the moment, specific to the work that they do in healthcare and the different types of stresses that they're uniquely exposed to, like exposure to trauma, grief and loss, moral distress, things like that. So being able to work with people and teams to help in those moments that are really, like you're saying, Jennifer, like filled with emotional dysregulation, how can we bring some more regulation into those spaces for individuals or for teams, and help them with that. So we've developed a lot of pathways and toolkits, especially in critical incident stress management debriefs, ethics debriefs, partnering with so many of our wonderful partners, but especially spiritual care and well-being, and doing drop-in tea for the souls and processing and all sorts of different ways, and really just trying to push ourselves of how do we be reactive to the things that we need to be reactive to, but then also take those lessons learned about those reactive things and put automatic processes in place so it makes it really easy to get connected to those things, so that we have automatic processes for people to get connected to peer support. So like Anne was saying, it's not like, oh, there's something wrong with me that I need support right now. This is just how we take care of each other. And so that is sort of where, even if you're familiar, we launched something called Community of Support Sessions during the pandemic. And we said, we'll continue holding these sessions until people don't show up anymore. And we have not yet met that. So continue to offer those every 2 weeks, where we're just doing some group peer support, talking about what's hard at work and at home, and then also providing some skill building to let people get exposed to, because the one thing we know about well-being, it is not one size fits all, or even most. It's like, what is meeting your needs right now? And so can we help you build your tools and resources and have people that you can reach out to no matter what's going on to support you, whether that's you want us to celebrate with you, or you need us, and we can be there in the hard times too.
Great, thanks, Marie. Last question, Megan. The Resilience Lab has pioneered approaches around compassion and resilience. How can these practices be integrated across the wider UW community?
Thanks, Pranika. I think that, the Resilience Lab is interested in helping different factions and communities across the UW system think about how they can build organizational resilience, and what part of what they can kind of be responsible for, or what contribution they can make to the overall well-being of the university writ large. I want to uplift 2 programs who I think are doing this that ought to be mentioned. One is the Mini Center for the Performing Arts. They have an initiative called From Artistic Joy to Collective Well-Being, and their artists in residence this year, it's going to be Peter Sellers, are really taking up the question of that intersection between how our art and joy and well-being intersect. And so I would highly recommend thinking about going to the Mini Center this year and engaging in the art there. If you're a student, tickets can be really reduced, $12 or so. And for staff and faculty, if you haven't had a chance to go into the building, I have to say personally, I found a real deep sense of belonging and community by being at the Mini Center. And then the Henry Art Gallery, similarly, just across the way, just walk down the path to Henry. It's free for everybody. It's, you know, it's got an amazing exhibits there right now. It helps you process kind of what's happening in the world. Also find a sense of connection and community and belonging. So think about that relationship between the art, and to Marie's point that one size doesn't fit all. For some of us, it's those places of art and well-being that really help.
Great, thank you. Thank you all. Wow, I've learned so much, like so much more. I mean, you know, I feel like I always try to be involved in a lot of just different activities and teams, but this was a learning for me as well. Our community has so much to offer, and it's incredible that everyone is doing such great work. Jeff, I loved what you said, find your thing, because that's what it's all about, right? We are all different, and let's just find our thing with compassion, care, and just love for each other, because we are together and this is our community. So that's amazing. Lauren, I know we have like a minute, so I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you. Well, yeah, so the ultimate goal for this event is kicking off, the fall sessions around resilience, recognition, gratitude. We're going to have several seminars with specific experts. Some of them are on our panel today, but I just really wanted to thank all of our panelists. All of your work is so appreciated and valued. I think this presentation just shows the UW community. Again, we're recording this and we'll share it out in all of our marketing channels so that people that couldn't attend can see it. I think it's so important to not only know what works for you, but what may work for a colleague or the people that you serve at University of Washington and UW Medicine. So I think the saying "stronger together" is really fitting this year as we go into, continue to go through some challenging times. What we do have is an incredible community and a ton of wellness and well-being experts that absolutely love what they do and are here for you, however that means for you. So really, I'm super grateful to work at University of Washington and be part of this team. And if any other panelist has anything to say, you have 1 minute. So go ahead. I'd love for any comment.
Just thank you, and it was so nice to be in community this afternoon, I guess technically afternoon, so just thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for being here.
Wonderful. Well, have a great afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you can find whatever well-being means to you this afternoon, whether that's a nice cup of coffee or tea or that walk, or that connection maybe with a colleague or a family member. But we'll see you either in the hospitals or on campus shortly. Have a great afternoon, everyone. See you later. Take care. Bye. Bye, Pranika. Thank you.